Welcome back to WaterparkRangers. Let's play Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. In this episode, we were going to get the Crystal Star until the Shadow Sirens took it from us.
Whee! You're one step too late. We have the Crystal Star. Hey! Don't leave without me!
Anyway, yeah, Dupless yet again. He can't warp away, so he just has to jump out the window. Oh no! We're too late! We gotta go after them! Just a second there, Luigi. Exactly what is going on here? Speak quickly. Yes, quite rudimentary. So you were looking for the Crystal Star in this sanctum. Oh, yes, very interesting. Well, no cause for worry, the Crystal Star is safe. Yes, quite safe indeed. The stone that our rude friend stole was fortunately a red herring, a fake. The real one is hidden somewhere in this sanctum to prevent such a theft. However, as to the location of the real Crystal Star, well, as Sanctum Manager, I am, of course, prohibited from telling anyone. However, I do know where it is. Of that you can be certain, yes. Most certain. Besides, I am sure a junior detective like yourself can figure it out on your own. Now, Luigi, put to use all of your razor-sharp sleuthing skills I've taught you. Make me proud. Because you're not proud enough already, Pennington. Anyway, unfortunately, we can't jump out the window to chase them. The music in here is also a track that I can't find on YouTube. Really bothers me. It's one of two musical tracks in Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door, which are ambient, and I cannot find anywhere. Anyway, the music in here is also very similar to a place that is in Super Paper Mario. It is, okay, I'm just going to spoil some of Super Paper Mario. It's in the halfway mark at Flipside that turns the town to Flopside. There's a, like, sanctuary that kind of has music like this that you go in with some stained glass windows. And, I guess while we're at it, I might as well mention some things about Super Paper Mario, because we're going to be exploring Poshley Sanctum for a while, and it mostly speaks for itself. Super Paper Mario, I kind of wanted to mention it more in that co-commentary episode, but also I'm not entirely sure if Blanket11 played it, and also we kind of didn't want to compare it to the other two Paper Mario games, because it's just so different. And I'd like to take some time out now to discuss it while we have the chance, and maybe run through the chapters of Super Paper Mario, talk about what I thought they did well and what they didn't. I've always kind of been planning to talk about Super Paper Mario. Some people really love it. They swear by it, and it might be like one of their favorite Nintendo games. But there's a lot in it that I just don't like. I guess we should just kind of start from the beginning. I don't really remember too much of the intro, but one thing that's already kind of clear is that Flipside, for all the stuff that's hidden in Flipside, it's already just more sterile and just not as lively as the first two towns in Paper Mario, which had Mushroom Town, I think, and Rogueport and Thousand-Year Door. It's just not as lively, and you need your main town, your hub world, to be really lively and bustling, and no matter how cool Flipside and Flopside are, they just aren't that. They don't really spring to life. And that is just overall kind of a problem with a lot of Super Paper Mario, because on one hand, it has overall probably the best story out of the Paper Mario series, and it definitely has the best villains, that is for sure. I know it has the best villains. That's an opinion of mine and also kind of just the truth. You get into the first chapter, and it's kind of bland, but it's bland in the way that most first Paper Mario chapters are. Like, you don't expect too much from them. Anyway, kind of a cool thing back here, we find that the actual real sanctum is inside the painting. The design of the sanctum, it follows pretty much the same as the first half. The only difference is there are these new enemies in here called Dark Boos, and I'm going to be fighting them all, but cutting ahead through most of the fights because they're all pretty much the same. The way that Dark Boos work is just like the Boos that you fight at Creepy Steeple, but they have more HP and attack, I'm pretty sure. I think that's about it. I think they have about 8 HP. They're really only slightly dangerous in large groups, and they're a very good source of star points, so although it might be tempting to run to the Crystal Star and grab it, trust me, you want to fight these guys first. Anyway, back to Super Paper Mario. After you get through the first chapter, though, you get into the second chapter, and it's kind of like this mansion where you're supposed to do, like, a lot of work there in order to, find a pure heart. Right, you had to get pure hearts in that game instead of stars. And inside the mansion, it was weird. You had to do all these tasks over and over that were so repetitive, and they weren't even fun. It was just, like, making you do busy work, and then once you did that, you had to go through this annoying maze where, like, so many of the rooms looked the same, and it was really, really obnoxious. The only good thing about the second chapter was the boss that you fight at the end of it, which was pretty fun. And everything involving that boss was very amusing. Then you got into the third chapter, and most of the third chapter is kind of very bland. Then you get to the end, and the end of the third chapter, once again, is really fun, because it's where you fight a giant chameleon called Francis, who's like a huge Nintendo nerd, actually. So there's a lot of like fourth wall breaking funny stuff that goes on in that chapter. 4 is another chapter which is pretty much, yeah, just sort of bland, only it's space themed. 5 is just another kind of bland chapter which is prehistory themed. The reason that I'm saying so many of these are bland is because no matter how interesting the dialogue is, one of the problems with it is like most of the NPCs and enemies you find are just rendered in this really like dull style. Like in this game, every NPC's got like a lot of attention to detail and they can all be checked, and they're lively, but their designs are just not interesting at all, and that's a huge problem in Super Paper Mario. There's only like a couple characters who have interesting designs. And I've never really, until Super Paper Mario, I don't think I truly appreciated how important it is to have appealing and interesting designs for your characters. Even if it's something as simple as like the character models in Ocarina of Time, there's still more to go on. There's still more to go off by than like the simple models that they have in Super Paper Mario that just don't do justice to the series after you've played through the first 2 games. Anyway, this 6th chapter is really short, and it was like kind of like a Glitzville-esque chapter. You fought like a bunch of samurais instead of prize fighters, and cause it was short, it was over pretty quickly, and it wasn't too bad. And it was also kind of an interesting chapter because for the first time ever, it kind of showed what would happen if like the villain won. And it's like the villain wipes out the world and destroys the world, and it was a really interesting chapter for that reason. 7 is a rare exception for Super Paper Mario chapters because, although my number one problem with it is it's long as hell, the 7th chapter, it does something that almost no Nintendo game has done, which is it kills off the entire main cast. I know that sounds crazy, but the 7th is literally the villain succeeds in destroying them and sends them all to the underworld. And so it's a really interesting underworld themed chapter with a lot of funny, like, game over style humor. Anyway, L emblem, it makes you look like Luigi, toss no BP, and we're going to be using it for the rest of the game. We're going to look like Luigi for the rest of the game. And as for the 8th chapter of Super Paper Mario, it's pretty damn awesome. There's really no complaint I have about it. So there we have Super Paper Mario in a nutshell. That was my series retrospective right there. Kind of crammed together, and I'm never going to have to make a video about Super Paper Mario. Also, it has like an extra giant dungeon at the end of the game, but I did not want to do it. So that's everything there is to say about that game. Mario found the 6th crystal star hidden craftily in the Poshley Sanctum. Now only 1 crystal star remains, but our hero still does not know where Princess Peach is being held. That's true, he has no idea. Where could the lost crystal star be, and where is Peach being held? Hoping this crystal star might yield answers, Mario and friends return to Pennington. Wield is not the same as yield. Anyway, the crystal star is ours, and the dark boos are all cleared out, so we're going to be jumping out of Poshley Sanctum now. Although, actually, we have a little ways to walk. It is kind of odd. You get the star and then you're like forced to walk out unceremoniously. But then again, Chapter 5 was kind of similar because you defeat Cortez, but then you still have to deal with Lord Crump. I guess there's a couple trope breakers. But yeah, Super Paper Mario is really just so bland, so thoroughly bland, and like kind of fun, but like not super fun. Also, I kept eating a lot of Pez during my playthrough of it. Random trivia fact there. I have some Lord of the Rings Pez dispensers, and I was eating Pez out of these Lord of the Rings Pez dispensers while playing Super Paper Mario, and that made like the experience twice as good. So overall, my impression of Super Paper Mario might actually be a little bit higher than it would have been otherwise, due to like Lord of the Rings Pez dispensers being a constant throughout the entire playthrough. Do not give up. He's reminding me of that Japanese fisherman. I don't know if you've seen this video, but there's like this Japanese fisherman who's I don't know if fisherman's the right word, anyway, he's looking for oysters, and he's like talking to the camera telling you not to give up. Just look it up. It's a really inspirational 30 seconds. If you ever feel like you really just can't do something, this fisherman will tell you not to give up. Speaking of people who don't ever give up,
what is the matter with you idiots? Falling for a fake crystal star? That's asinine!
Sorry, dude. I mean, sir.
So let me guess. This means Mario managed to get the real crystal star?
I'm gonna say maybe?
This mustached menace has nearly every crystal star now. They were mine. I think I'd better alter my plan a bit.
Before you do, Sir Grodus, I think I'd better tell you something.
What is it, fool?
Mumble mumble. What? Are you sure? Speak! No joke, dude. I mean, affirmative, sir, dude. That is, I'm positive, sir. Treason! Well, seems like he heard something he really didn't need to hear. Oh well. Strange. Isn't it about time for Tech to call me in? Maybe he's busy. Speak of the devil. Oh, here we go. Anyway, the Peach intermissions are finally coming to a close. And good thing too, in my opinion, because I'm just not a fan of them. Then again, this probably is my favorite Peach intermission, seeing as it's probably the shortest of them. Sorry, I've just never been a fan of these. Like, not in this game, not in the previous game. These intermissions just don't do it for me. Hello, Tech. What do you want today?
Princess Peach, I have reached a conclusion.
A conclusion?
I have struggled with whether to obey orders or to speak to you, and I cannot confirm what I should believe.
Tech, you don't sound right. What's going on with you?
Princess Peach, please escape from this place as quickly as possible.
Escape? Tech, what do you mean by that? I mean, why all of a sudden?
The data you procured has been analyzed and something terrible is... No, I will not say, but I have found out everything about Sir Grodus's plans.
Grodus's plans? You mean about conquering the world?
Yes, and among those plans was the reason why you are being held here. According to the data...
No, no way. It's impossible. I don't believe it.
Yes, everything is true. That is why you must escape from here as fast as possible.
But how can I do that, Tech? I mean, I don't even have the slightest idea where I am.
I will not hide anything anymore. No, not from you. I will tell you everything. The place where you are currently imprisoned. This is the moon.
The moon? You mean the moon that hangs up in the sky at night? That moon?
That is correct.
But that's unbelievable! How in the world am I supposed to escape?
There is a way. You can escape, but you must follow my instructions exactly.
But Tech, won't they know that you helped me? Won't you get in trouble?
That is inconsequential. I would like you to be safe. That is all that matters.
Tech.
I am the base's computer. No one will know of your escape if I keep silent. Please do not worry about me. Escape as quickly as possible.
Okay, Tech, but I must inform Mari about all this before I go. This is no longer just my problem.
Understood.
Hold it right there, Princess Peach! Eek! You!
Tech, you miserable machine! We all know what you're up to, traitor! Sir Grodus, in my most paranoid moments, I never thought my own computer would betray me. Well, it doesn't really matter in the end, I suppose, especially since it ends here.
You monster! What are you planning to do with him?
Only one thing to do with a malfunctioning computer. Cut the circuit and delete all the programs and data that caused the malfunction. Obviously, all data relating to Princess Peach must go, as well. Yes, we must be absolutely sure nothing like this ever happens again. No, I am normal. There is no malfunction. Pipe down, Tech! Exnauts, at the same time, press the red buttons on Tech's sides.
Got it, sir.
Tech, no!
Mail sent. Princess Peach, I love you. Deletion complete.
Tech!
Too bad, Princess Peach. Tech is no longer with us.
No, you inhuman beast, how could you?
Princess Peach, just stop it. This is no time to be worrying about your computer. We have some very important things for you to do now. Yes, very important.
No!